were they look similar to these symbols that you wrote here on the paper? Or were they different?
Somewhat similar as far as being geometric. They weren't curly and wavy and formed
No.
like,
So I mean, these are the symbols that you're referring to in
that was the type of writing or something along that I saw in that dream a couple weeks ago that was being computer fed to me, on a printout.
Oh, yeah.
There was a paper printout, and this was like flashing by me real quick speed.
And you knew what it meant.
But I understood it, like speed reading or something going right by me, and it was black lettering on white background. It was. So what'd you say? What were we saying?
What else was in that dream that you were thinking about?
Oh, they were
that I
asking
can
me,
refer to.
Technical information on engineering.
You were feeling you were being instructed by him.
Well, on this,
they're asking you technical information to find out how much you knew.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they start giving you more and new information.
Right.
Okay. Yes, I remember that.
But it was like technical data.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't artistic information.
What do you feel that was technical about?
There was something about
What were your thoughts?
spaceships and the design and engineering of a spaceship. Like they asked me questions on specific engineering of spacecrafts and asked me like basically what is this called, and then what is it, and what is this particular piece down here do in correlation to these two pieces up here, like engineering, and I answered and I was correct, right? And you're going, okay, yeah, that's right.
Jeez,
I was being questioned, but I was being questioned by a man that was in human form, who was acting like he was like a psychologist or a doctor or something, and I was sitting in a chair in this white room, and this man is asking me.
And that's this man that you drew here?
No,
no,
that's way back.
Can you draw that man? Or do you have any idea?
Yeah, I could draw him.
Okay, why don't you draw him for me?
I'm going to turn yours on.
Oh yeah, we're going to talk about this.
So anyway, he was just basically a man, an older man with a beard. He was wearing like a lab coat. I was sitting in a chair, like one of those chairs, hydraulic type chairs or something, a big chair.
Yeah.
I was sitting here looking at him, and he's questioning me to find out what's going on, and I'm answering his questions.
Right.
He's going, yes, yeah, that's correct. But he's asking.
So he looked very human.
Yeah,
but he had a beard and a mustache.
Yeah.
Everything, long beard.
And
did you see him before in any other dreams?
No.
Never
he was
saw
like
him
a
before.
professor type looking guy.
Okay. And what else is over here?
And these were just cabinets and stuff on the wall, and this was like a white room, and then there was a door here to another hall or another room or something. And there was some equipment in front of me, which was basically like computer type stuff.
Oh, okay.
And then after I answered these questions correctly, then all of a sudden there was like this paper printout.
Yeah.
It started coming out, and then it was just like this sheet of white paper going in front of my eyes with this black script on it that was like that weird.
Script, yeah.
That weird.
The script that you drew.
Right. And it was going by me real fast, and I was just.
Wow.
I was simulating it. It was like, okay, here's more information to feed you. And it was being programmed in my mind.
Wow.
But I was able to read it and understand it. I had the feeling and that's what was happening, like speed reading.
Yeah.
Just programmed in my brain. And that was just a weird little dream I had in the afternoon one time. After I had asked the questions, going, okay, you guys up there, let me know, give me more information, whatever, let me know what's going on.
Yeah.
And then I had that dream. So I could have created that dream also by a desire to know what's going on, because I know that we do that.
So what do you feel that What do you feel about that dream?
I feel like, yeah, that the dream about,
Do you feel that it's real, they're instructing you, or
I feel
you
like,
don't know yet?
no, I feel like something's going on.
Mhm.
I feel like, yeah, that probably was a desirous state I was in, but that they were sending me more information
Mhm.
because I recognized it in the dream.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
it wasn't like it was a dream where I was walking around being lost, asking questions.
Yeah.
It was a technical dream.
Yeah.
It had meaning to it. There was depth to it. It wasn't a fairy tale, illusionary type dream where,
Mhm.
you know, it was like technical engineering problems
Yeah.
and stuff, you
Yeah,
know.
it's not like a dream you thought of. So
Really, so,
highly technical dream.
yeah, it was a technical dream.
Okay, I had a couple questions to ask you. What got you interested in UFOs, Colette?
I don't know.
When did you first become aware of them?
Well, I remember as a child seeing that spaceship,
Yeah,
you know, on Interstate 15. That
Yeah.
was my first experience.
that interested you.
I don't know if it interested me.
Oh,
I can't honestly say that.
what first interested you? You know.
Well, I remember reading an article about somewhere in Colorado or something, or New Mexico or something. I was a child. My grandmother used to cut out these clippings, weird articles all the time, and there was an article that they found some cows laying on their back with their feet straight up, and that they were gutted,
Mm-hmm.
but they were gutted a certain way.
Cattle mutilations.
Right. And
When was that?
oh, I was 8 or 9 probably. And I remember reading about that, thinking, wow, man, there's really aliens out there, you know. Stuff like that probably. But I did never recall fantasizing about it. Just I remember that article and I remember seeing
Yeah.
the spaceship.
Did you ever buy any books on the subject?
No.
What-
But I would. My mother, I noticed the past couple of years, she had a book, Man, Myth, and Magic.
Yeah.
There's a series out, Man, Myth, and Magic,
Mhm.
and I think there was one on UFOs, and I was compelled to read it. I wanted to find out.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But my first books I've ever bought on the subject.
When was that? Man, Myth, and Magic.
A
You were
year ago.
compelled to find out.
A year ago, 2 years
Huh.
ago.
Oh,
You know.
just recently.
Yeah, a couple of years ago. I saw it laying there, and I wanted to, you know, I thought it would be a good opportunity to maybe figure out what was going on again.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I was in my search again. See, I go through this series of trying to figure it out, and then I don't figure it out,
Mm.
and then I'm stagnant, and then I try to figure it out again. I was
Yeah.
in my figuring out mode.
Okay.
And anyway, it didn't say much in it. And then I bought Communion. And then I bought Missing Time and Intruders. And those were basically the only things I've ever read on UFOs.
Mm-hmm.
And that was just
Let's
last
see,
year.
what was that? A communion and what?
Missing Time and Intruders.
Oh, okay, you bought all three.
And I read them,
Last year? Or when?
yeah, last year. I read Missing Time and Intruders in the summer, and I read Communion
Mm-hmm.
last February or March or something.
Okay.
And I read them like in one night.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
just like sat there and read it
Mm-hmm.
straight through. All of them.
Oh,
Not in one night, but each book I basically
Right.
read.
Yeah. So they're basically the only books you have on the subject?
Mm-hmm.
Or is there more? No. You don't have no pictures or anything?
No.
Except what's in the books? Okay.
Oh, I remember seeing that movie Aliens, the first one that came out.
Oh, yeah.
It scared the shit out of me.
Scared the shit out of me.
But I thought that was bad because because at that point I already felt that I was involved with extraterrestrials somehow, because that movie came out, what, in 80 or
Yeah.
79 or something like that. I already felt like I had communication with extraterrestrials, and the way they were making it look like that the
They were
aliens
dead.
were, you know, had acid dripping out of their mouth.
Yeah.
That just scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to know that. Oh, and then I
Not
saw
now, right?
Close Encounters. I saw that movie, Close Encounters.
Close
Yes.
Encounters. No, that was a great movie.
Yeah.
What'd you think of that?
I thought the bit about the music was, I understand how music can be a universal language. I think at the end, though, it got kind of hokey.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't, I think it was kind of Hollywooded up or something.
Yeah.
But I related
Well,
to
it
the
was.
feeling of Richard Dreyfuss and that woman searching,
Searching. Right.
having that inside inner turmoil, that
Mhm.
conflict, feeling that they're being drawn to something but not knowing what it is, but compelled to find out.
Right. A lot
See,
of people are going through that right now.
I'm compelled, you know, for years and years and years to find out, but like I say, I get in these moods and then I go, oh, forget it.
Yeah.
And then I get compelled again.
Yeah.
But it's that, I think it's that part of me that that hurts me. It's not good for me because it's just turmoil.
Mm-hmm.
It's turmoil for me. It's
Yeah.
not positive for me.
Well, it'll be positive once you start to
Once I start-
accept it.
Once I start understanding what it is,
Figure it
but
out, right.
but that feeling, that compelling feeling, that drive to go find out, no, it puts you in an anxious state.
Yeah.
And I got it, and once I know what's going on, then I know that I'll be more relaxed,
Mm-hmm.
and that it's probably more of this will be okay. But it's the not knowing that's not okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when do I get to the point where you guys are going to let me know more what's going on?
Well, since you came here and you wanted to find out, we'll tell you now. Whatever questions you come up with, we'll tell you and show you and
So basically, it's
give you more information.
I will be able to handle whatever I'm able to ask.
Yeah.
Because if I'm able to ask the question, I'm able to handle the information.
Right. Just don't get too heavy yet. Don't get into the heavy stuff yet. Yeah, that's basically really what it's about, is how much can you handle.
I think I can
And want to
handle.
accept as being real.
Well, I think you don't know me well enough yet to know how much I can handle, probably.
No, I don't know you. That's why you have to ask the questions. And I'll answer you. And we'll give you more information as we go along. You went to Joe, the psychic, to find out in one of your searches. What did you find out from him, basically?
He said that that I have the ability, the way my energy is about my body, and the way my mind works, that I have the ability to be in universal contact. And that, yes, definitely, that my consciousness is within the stars. I don't know the exact words you said. Someday you can hear the whole tape.
And what was that? You have the ability to be in the knowledge?
Yeah, well, the universal mind, that I can tap in. He said I have the ability to tap into the universal mind.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That my energies were basically that of space.
Your energies were basically able to understand space. Okay.
But other than that, he couldn't give me, he couldn't tell me who they were and if it was really happening. He just says, yeah, you've got the ability.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's ever been able to tell me really, that's, who they are or what they're doing. And I want to know who they are. So I guess one of my questions would be, who are they?
That would be one question. You should write that down.
But you guys don't know who it is that I'm with yet, right? Like what clan or...
No, we don't know that. We will possibly after we regress here. know more information about it.
How many groups are out there at this point that you know of?
Right. I'll answer that in a few days if you remind me.
Well, was that a heavy one?
That's a big one.
Are there specific groups?
Yeah.
And you'll be able to tell me who I might be involved with after I go through my regression, and because you all fit in a certain category with
Yeah.
my answers and my descriptions of.
Right.
So then you'll basically get it. Well, okay, well, she's with them,
Mm-hmm.
or she's with these guys over here.
Yeah, that's right.
So who are the MIBs?
So nobody answered you yet. You want me to answer all your questions? That's what you came for, right?
Right!
Who are the MIBs? Well, the MIBs are the men in black.
Right.
They are like the security guards of the UFOs. And some people have described them as Air Force officers. Some described them as weird-looking, oriental-faced, sinister people dressed in black suits, black hats,
Well,
black
why?
ties,
How are they
black
security
shoes,
guards?
black Cadillacs. Why? Because in most cases, when they appear, is right after a UFO sighting, and sometimes so fast right after a UFO sighting that nobody else, it couldn't be anybody else except the aliens themselves.
So what are they doing?
They tell you mainly that no, it's not what you saw. It's not what you think you saw. It was an airplane, or it was a cloud.
Oh, well, they're acting like a certain, that they're from a certain agency,
Right.
and they're coming to tell you, hey, this was just a hoax.
Right. So they're covering up their tracks. So they're trying to cover up their tracks, and they just scare you into not. They ask you, don't tell nobody else about what you saw, because anyway, you didn't see what you think you saw. You saw a plane, or you saw a cloud, or something like that. It wasn't what you think you saw. So they're like the security police of any city that wants to hide something, and they visit the people. There's stories, all kinds of different stories over the years have come out of these Men in Black stories. One famous story is where it was these man and woman saw a UFO. They were in a house up on a hill. They had just planted grass, and they had just built the house, and it was all muddy and everything, and raining for days and days, and they were, in order to get from the street to the house porch, they had to walk through the mud that they had just planted grass in, right? So, and there was no other way to get to that porch. Well, this big black Cadillac pulled up, got two men, I think, and dressed all in black suits, black trench coats, black hats, black ties, black shoes, and they got to the porch, and then the Cadillac pulled away, and they got to the porch, and when the people opened the door, they said they have some questions to ask them, and could they come in? So they let them in, and when they got inside, they realized that their clothes weren't even wet. The shoes didn't have dirt on them, let alone mud and dust and everything else. And when they sat down, pant legs drew up, and they could see green wire coming up from their foot, under their skin, up their leg, and into wherever it went, up their pants. And it was like they were oriental looking with slanted eyes, and real weird people. And they dressed in outdated clothes, like 1940s clothes, suits, like the zoot suits and different things like that, except they were real drab and black. But they could see that they were completely outdated. Their clothes were so old and everything. But they were kept, just real weird. So that's one case. Another case was a person followed a guy, two men in black, out to the car, and as the car was pulling away, it didn't turn a corner or anything. It just vanished, just disappeared, became invisible. That's another story. All kinds of different stories like this. One case. This is Rich. I'll let Rich tell you his story. The MIBs. I'll let you ask him too. He saw them as a child. He was witness to them in a big case up here in Hightstown with Howard Menger, who wrote a book on UFOs and his story. All these people wrote stories, and they have their own individual stories. But so the Men in Black, I feel they might have other human beings as people helping them also. Maybe other space beings that are humans or human-looking now, who also help them too. Because there is some people that were normal people that were dressed in black and came to tell them that don't tell anybody about it, and what you saw wasn't what you think you saw. Now, how would they know what they think they saw if they didn't read their mind? Because they didn't tell them what they thought they saw. They said, "Did you see a UFO?" And he said, "Yeah, Anyway, you really didn't see a UFO, you saw an airplane." And then they scared him and says, "We don't want to hurt you or anything, so don't tell anybody about what you saw." And then you didn't see what you saw anyway, it was something else.
I have to get some iced tea.
So, what did you want to ask me?
Who are they? How many different groups are there? That was that same question that you said you want to answer yet.
That's the same.
Who are they? Well, this is what I have written down. Who are they in the specific groups? What do they want? What do you think they're doing with me?
Well, I think what they're doing is, we don't need that. That's my information. What they're doing is helping men become more open-minded and spreading the word that they're here. Secondly, giving them psychic abilities for them to use during their lives and to help other people with. Sometimes getting eggs from women or sperm from the men when they abduct them. And I guess they're the main reasons. Waiting for us to become more spiritually minded to generally accept them as being here, and raising the spirituality
they're not going to try to invent some new labor force, are they?
No, I don't think so. They could have been doing that all along.
Are they going to try to manipulate us and control us?
No. They could have did that all along too.
Breed a new species where they're going to I
think they're breeding a new half alien, half human type of being.
For what? To further them?
Yeah.
Is their physiological structure not happening for them anymore?
Right.
So what they need to do is trade bodies now?
No, what they're doing is having children who are half alien, half humans, and with reproductive organs. We feel that it's probable that they don't have reproductive organs. Somehow they're on maybe the back end of a genetic slide, which they lost their reproductivity, and in mating or forming through genes new babies, they are able to get back the reproductive organs and save their race, so to speak. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So with them
But
losing
would
it through
would
this genetic regression,
But
they-
would it really be their race?
No, it'd be a new
It would
type
be a
of
new race, but is
they're
their
raising
consciousness
them.
going to, as they talk about souls, that incarnation and stuff,
Yeah.
would it be their souls incarnating in these half alien and half human beings so that their race would continue their
Yeah, probably.
consciousness?
Yeah, yeah.
But
these-
just in a new physical body,
in new
like a
physical
new
body.
model.
Right.
But
Right.
but their souls and the essence of that particular race and culture would be retained
I would
in
say
the
that they
consciousness
are.
of the souls
Mhm.
that are just basically going in for model change.
Right, right. With the availability again for reproducing their own race, or that new race that they've just created. That's as far as we can see right now. They don't eat, as far as we can see. They don't, not the way we do. They don't ingest food and have it
What do they have a mouth
go
for?
through their stomach or go through their intestines. They don't have any stomach or intestines as far as we can see. They just have a little throat that goes down, and then that's all. And they only have slits for mouth,
What do
no
they-
lips in most cases. What?
Well, how do they eat? I mean, do they?
They
or
don't eat. They.
Do they take their nutrients out of the gaseous materials in the atmosphere?
Yeah, not out of the atmosphere. They have vats which they use with their own liquids in there, and they extend their arms into the vats, and their arms absorb the nutrients which they need each day. And they also excrete out the wastes that come out from their bodies through their arms. And that's how they live each day.
Is that how it's always been?
That's how we just found out about that. Now, if this is all true, according to John Lear, this is what's happening. Now, that's a heavy part of the ufology. And this just all came out in the last 2 years. Nobody knew anything about all of this, up to 2-3 years ago, when John Lear started telling
Was there
everybody.
a problem with their body? I think that maybe their body is going through a process of like evolution, that they went through the beginning stages of the one-celled bacteria, and then they developed into, like, basically they climaxed at one point into a certain species, and then eons of time passes in their body. It's like they're on the downhill of the spectrum.
Yeah, that's
to
what
where
I'm saying. They're on the back end of a genetic slide.
Right, but
where they lost their stomach, they lost their intestines, they lost their reproductive
but they've
organs.
retained their consciousness and they've retained their intellectual and spiritual, but they're losing the physical.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah, well, this is what John Lear thinks and his group.
Huh. I mean, I would feel that. That's basically how I'm thinking. That, kind of makes sense.
So this is new, and it's heavy stuff, and it's just come out in the past 2 or 3 years. So
kind of like Darwinism to the extreme.
Yeah. So what were your other questions? That's on some of them now. That's not all of them. That's some.
Right. That's just one particular. What's the name of that particular? Do they know what? Do you know what planet that particular group is from? Or what star system?
Yeah.
What is that?
Well, we'll go over that towards the end of your trip here.
Because you want me to go through regression first, right? See if I know any of that stuff already?
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't want to interfere with what you know in your own experiences.
That's the truth. Because that might alter or change what I know, and then you won't be getting good information from me.
Right.
Let's see.
UFOs have been around a long time. I've got records of this story about King Thutmose III. And there's paintings throughout history of UFOs. Did you know that?
Oh yeah, right. I did. No, I read some Kurt von Däniken books.
Oh yeah?
Chariots of the God or something, or Gold of the Gods, or... I remember reading those now. I guess those would be on UFOs or something.
Yeah.
And I read one book on something where the reason why we have deserts is because of the great nuclear disaster that had happened eons and eons of time ago. and that basically that people were planted here.
Mm-hmm.
I forget, was that Colony Earth? Or
Colony Earth, yeah.
is that what that was?
Yeah, that's a book called Colony Earth.
Yeah, I guess I did read that. And,
There's different ideas,
yeah.
but to show you what I mean, like this is 1883. The director of the Zacatecas Observatory in Mexico, Jose Bonilla, watching sunspots of the sun in his telescope, all of a sudden began to observe this object, which he took a photograph of, crossing the disk of the sun. And it entered the side of the disk and continued right across the sun. But then two more following it came on, and then three more came on, and two more, and four more, and three more, and they followed each other right in a procession right across the sun. And after several hours, astronomer Bonilla personally observed and counted over 400 of these UFOs flying in formation. They were cigar-shaped, disc-shaped, and spindle-shaped objects moving in groups right across the face of the sun. He estimated that they passed between the Earth and the Sun at an estimated position of about 300,000 miles away, and that they were about 10 miles long, each object, each UFO. This happened in 1883. There's a scientist that wrote it all down. His junior astronomer was there watching it also with him, and he sent other runners to other astronomers to watch also through their telescopes. And this has all been recorded, and it was written up in a magazine called Astronomy, French magazine. And it's one of the best stories of ancient stories or old stories of UFOs by scientists that we have today. But who knows about it? Nobody knows about it. Very few people know about it.
That's great. Look at that.
You see this? This is a painting in 1710 by Art de Gilder. It's called The Baptism of Jesus with Heavenly Hosts. And there it shows a circular-shaped UFO.
It's incredible.
With four beams of light shining down on John the Baptist and on Jesus. And the dove in the UFO. This is hanging right now in the Fitzwilliam Museum in Cambridge, England. Somebody discovered it. Ufologist discovered it. And I have it now. And it's going to be in my movie.
You have the painting?
No, I
or
have
just
a
the
picture of it. It's hanging in the museum right now.
Right. How'd you get the picture of that?
Oh.
That cost you big bucks, huh?
Yeah, a lot of work and trying to find all these things.
I've seen that picture before.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've always liked that picture. But I didn't never know that.
Why not? Didn't you look up the beam of light?
I remember seeing that picture as a kid and really liking that.
Yeah, it's a beautiful picture. This is done in 1486 painting by Carlo Crivelli. It's located in the National Gallery in London, and it's called The Annunciation. You see that UFO? Cloud-shaped UFO?
Yeah.
It's
Oh, when
got
we
two
get...
rings of gold around it and a light beam rays
Yeah.
shining out of it.
It's amazing.
Isn't that beautiful?
When we get done going through these pictures, I got to ask you about clouds.
Okay.
I've seen some really weird-looking clouds.
Oh, good. You get pictures of them?
No, but I...
Why not?
Well, hell, I didn't know when I was
Get
looking.
your camera in the car. Read
At all
it.
times.
Right. This is in the Reader's Digest, Book of Christmas. You can find it in the library, 1973. It's in there. Just go to the Xerox machine or to Triangle Blueprint and get a copy of it. This is the hieroglyphics that I mentioned. In 1450 BC, Egyptian King Thuthos, or whatever it is, the third, reads in part, in the year 22, third month of winter, 6th hour of the day, fire circles came across the sky while the king and all his army was doing bivouac in the desert. And after several days, more and more and more of these fire circles came down, or came across the sky, and stopped right over the army of the kings. And after several days, there was more of these fire circles in the sky than on the than the king's men on the ground, and they became very scared. So much so that the king had to go and get sacrifices to pacify the gods. And after they killed the sacrifice and offered them up to the gods, the fire circles began to slowly fly away towards the south. And before they left, fishes fell down, and volatiles fell down from the sky onto the ground and all around the king's army. It was just as if they were dumping their bad fish and stuff they couldn't take to go back home to their planet. And there it is in hieroglyphics.
I was looking to see if there was anything like this and that.
Mm-hmm. There. Looks like the shape of a
Cigar shape.
yeah, or disc.
Yeah.
On this elliptical. There's more.
Mm-hmm.
All kinds. All over the place. Yeah, look at that one.
Yeah, there he is.
Might be a symbol for Dodge over the UFO or some
Or a
fire
symbol
circle.
for Spock.
Spock.
Yes, check the ears out.
Yeah.
That's a good looking duck, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's a great duck.
And like this guy's doing
Yeah, he's
push-ups.
levitating.
Levitating, yeah.
Wow.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Look at this bird with the long feet. There's another one. Some weird birds. Look at this.
Look at that.
Yeah, what the heck is that?
That guy's got some ears on him, huh? Arms
Yeah.
and stuff. Looks like machinery. or
Looks like
equipment.
machine, yeah.
Doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. There's the old symbol of the cross, isn't it?
Yeah, the Ankh. The Egyptian Ankh.
Yeah. It looks like a serpent.
In fact, see
in the
this?
face. Yeah.
Even though that's Indian, that reminds me of the Ankh. That little guy.
Yeah. So that's that story about the fire circles, 1500 BC. How do you like that?
I like that. It's a good one. Is that Mayan right there?
This
Disc
is
of-
the Disc of Phaistos. This is unbelievable. This is
Greece.
an archaeological bronze medallion in the museum right now of Herculon in Greece, called the Disc of Phaistos. 17th century BC, they think it was made, and it shows engraved in relief in spiral form. This UFO right here, see?
Oh yeah.
See?
Oh yeah.
Now it also shows.
See that?
Yeah. Yeah. What's that?
I don't know, but that's like real familiar to me.
Is it?
Yeah.
You mean in your subconsciousness?
That and this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think this is?
This?
Yeah. You don't know.
I don't know.
Okay.
But this.
It look like a computer thing, a chip or maybe or something. Printed circuit board. Something.
Something. Hey, that guy's got a mohawk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, you know what that looks like? The Sequoia Indians, or the, what are they?
Mm-hmm.
Remember the Indians when you learn about American history? And
Yeah.
they were running through the woods and they got the
Yeah.
Iroquois. Was that the Iroquois?
Yeah, I think it was.
The Mohawks and
Uh-huh.
see, that does something to me, and that does something
The
to
7
me.
dots. Mm-hmm.
But no, I don't know.
But you don't know what.
Uh-uh.
Look at this.
This right here.
Yeah.
Hey, a dolphin or a whale or something.
Yeah. And there's a man. Right? A fish and a man. Together. fish people.
Have you heard of the snake race?
Not too much, no. What about?
Basically, well, you've heard about the people that supposedly live underground.
Where? In Earth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like Admiral Byrd or something going up, flying over the North Pole and
Oh
finding
yeah.
like...
Yeah, I heard of that. What do you know about it?
Not much. Just my mom, I think, had told me about that or something.
Mhm.
She has books on them, I think.
Yeah. You see, this is a drawing in the Sahara Desert. You can look at it. What?
Asking questions on clairvoyancy. Do you think, what do you think about my clairvoyancy? Is that part of why they chose me, basically? Or did I develop this clairvoyancy because they chose me? Or that's a hard one to answer.
It's a hard one to find out. I guess eventually we'll get the answer, but it seems like in UFO cases, the person that is, with the UFO people get more psychic and more psychic as time goes on, as they continue through life, and could be through the UFO that they develop more and more open-mindedness, and they get the what can I say? They allow the clairvoyancy or the psychic part of the person to grow more and to become useful.
So it enhances.
Yeah, it enhances them in psychic ways. A lot of people in UFOs are psychic in different ways. They can read minds. Some people can are clairvoyant.
I can do remote viewing.
Psychometry.
I can do that.
Uh-huh.
I can hold somebody's hand and read them.
Mhm.
I can hold somebody's hand and through them read an individual that they know.
Oh yeah.
I can be by somebody and do remote viewing.
Oh.
Basically, like...
Wait, let me get this down.
I love gadgets here.
We're playing with our gadgets, right? Crazy things. Okay, so it seems that with UFOs, the people that are into UFOs get more psychic and more aware of being able to have these new abilities and use them. Now, what can you do?
I'm able
In what way?
to do psychometry.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to do it, however, because I'm to the point where I could just touch somebody. What I like to do is hold their right hand in my left hand.
Oh, yeah.
And that seems to work really well. And then during the reading, I don't even need to hold them, I just need to be by them. Or I can, once I've established the attunement, basically, on there, I can read other people through an individual. Like if they have a friend, I can pick up through them and talk about their friend and describe emotional and give a whole breakdown of what that person's like going through their particular incidences that have happened in their life. I can do remote viewing, like as far as like see a house or something and go inside that house and describe it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I can go over somebody's body with my hands and say, there's problems here. This is going on. Like when I have a patient come in and you go, okay, so what's going on? They'll go, oh, I feel great. And then I go, well, what about your headaches? And then they go, oh yeah, man, it's like I've been having these extreme headaches. I go, well, what happened to your knee? Oh yeah, I had knee surgery. I go, and I go, well, what's the bit about your kidneys? Oh yeah, I get recurrent kidney infections. It's like I'll be able to...
You know what is bothering them, huh?
Yeah, I can pick up on situations like that.
How about that?
I've been able to take my hands and work on people's body and feel an electrical exchange where they felt it and I felt it, so I know I just didn't create it. That there's been actual sparks.
Jeez.
I'm able to, I have precognitive dreams. You know, I know when the phone rings who it is. I can answer sentences before, you know, people will talk and I already know what they're going to say and I'm ready to answer. You know, like finished sentences. I'm able to, like, just for instance, things all the time. It's just in everyday life. I just take it for granted now. You know, it's just, you get so used to being clairvoyant that it's just part of you. And like the other day, my friend Art was at Black Mountain Music Festival, and his mom came in from out of town. And I had never met her. I didn't see his mother with him. But I walked in the ladies' room, and there was a woman standing there. And I knew that was Art's mom. You know, and I go, I bet that's Art's mom. And when he introduces me to his mom, this is going to be her. But I didn't want to tell him because there's always that fear of being
wrong.
You know, wrong, right. So I don't mention a lot of my clairvoyancy, but after it's been confirmed, then I go, well, yeah, I should have just let my intuitive, you know, I shouldn't.
Well, you get that a little bit, right, huh?
I shouldn't be so objective of my intuitive nature, you know. And then sure enough, it was Art's mom, you know, and then later on I told her, I go, you won't believe this, but, you know, I knew that you were Art's mom, and I don't know whether she believed me or not, you know, because people, they'll just go, yeah. And so stuff like that happens. I don't know.
What other gifts do you have?
See people's auras. I used to do that a lot.
Yeah, a lot?
Yeah, a lot.
When you were a teenager?
Yeah. Not so much anymore, I don't, you know, but I'll see certain individuals, I'll see their aura very strongly within certain lighting conditions.
And what does that tell you, seeing their aura?
That there's a good energy about them, that they're usually a higher consciousness or more developed soul. What else am I able to do?
Can you read, can you tell in their aura if they've been injured or hurt or something?
When I used to see people's auras, I did see different colors and blackness coming in certain areas, like blobs.
Oh, yeah.
Like a movement within the aura. But I haven't developed that. You know, things got really scary for me. Oh, I've been like my friend, just another instance. My friend was supposed to go to prison for 5 years.
Oh, yeah.
And one day, after about a year being in prison, I had this picture, I saw him being released. You know? And it was real strong, and I knew that he was getting out of prison. And the feeling was so strong for a week, I ended up calling his father up in Las Vegas. I said, I didn't want to hurt him, but I was compelled to ask him if Lonnie had gotten out of prison. He was, just last week, and it was the day that I knew. You know, stuff like that happens a lot.